Hey everybody, Eric Croft here with Command Your Legacy, former PT struggler, 50-pound weight loss success story, and cancer survivor. Thank you for joining me today on Being Encouraged. And today I'm going to talk to you about generosity. Um, and go through a couple things here, and then we'll get to the point of the generosity piece. When you feel like you cannot go any further, just know that the strength within you will carry the strength that you has gotten you up to this point. If you're facing any type of struggle of anything, of any sort, that strength that you have up until this point can carry you through. Same thing with my PT test that I've talked about in the past is that strength that I found that got me through the struggle of passing PT, getting my scores up, dropping the 50 pounds and the 2 uniform sizes, carried me through my cancer, my cancer battle. So I pulled into that strength. I had to find a way to get from the fear of not being able to get through, the fear of how's this going to affect me in the future, how's it going to affect my career. I had to get over that fear, and to include the fear of what others thought of how I was going to get through this, and if I had the ability to. And anybody that tried to doubt, or I never heard any doubts, but I mean I don't know if they existed or not at the time, but it's just the fear of thinking that people were doubting, and not being able to make it to the other side, and not having to pull in the strength to get through. I had to get over that fear. I had to come from that fear to having and walking in the faith that I can do it. Just injecting the strength that I had to get through. We're all born with a purpose, and no matter what it is, whatever your talent may be, we are all born with a purpose, and this purpose is beyond our abilities that we could ever imagine. And those things can help give you strength. And a couple tips that I have to stay encouraged and getting into the generosity side of it. Just start looking at your past struggles and how they've affected you. What did you do to get through a past struggle, and staying encouraged enough to draw from that strength which led you up to this certain point now that you can draw from to help carry you through. You take that and use it to your advantage. And the generosity piece is, first thing is be generous to yourself and to others. Find a way to plant a seed. If you're discouraged and you need to find a way to get past that and draw from that fear and jump into walking into that faith of being able to stay strong, like I did with my cancer, I was always I had to get my mindset to an upbeat piece, or an upbeat mindset. I was still encouraging others throughout that process, even though I was going through a struggle. I was being generous in many ways to others by planting a seed, lifting others up. You can find ways to lift others up and plant a seed through gestures, financial giving. Maybe as simple as opening a door, or complimenting somebody. Just a little bit ago, it's kind of funny that because I'm talking about this generosity piece and, talking about complimenting and opening a door. I was just at the Shopette here on Post, and there's a older lady in front of me checking out, and she had like 2 cases of beer. She's probably in her 80s. And she was actually writing a check. She didn't have a debit card. She actually wrote a check. So I just kind of thought for a minute, it's like, you don't see that very often where you see people writing checks. And I was just thinking of that while I was in line. Of course, it's off subject. Anyways, as we were walking out, she was about to go for the door, and of course she was in front of me. So I jumped in front of her. I said, "Here, ma'am, let me get this. Let me get the door for you. Let me get that for you." She was just excited that somebody was helping her out. She's just that she just thanked me profusely. And I said, well, it looks like you've got quite a load there. And I said, I may need to follow you home because she's the one that had the beer. And she said, yeah, and I drink this it helps keep me young and pretty. And I just looked at her and said, well, it looks like it's working. And of course, she just turned around and stopped. She just, thank you very much for that. She just it just made her day because I gave her that gesture of complimenting her and telling her that because she was making a joke that the beer was making her kept her young and pretty, and I just turned around and said, well, it looks like it's working. So she was encouraged by that, and by seeing that smile on her face encouraged me to the compliment that I gave her was the generous thing that I could do for her and opening the door. So by planting that seed, I'm not expecting a harvest to come, but I know by planting these seeds of encouragement and generosity in others, no matter which way it may be, financially, opening a door, a gesture or compliment of what sort, whatever it may be, just giving somebody a smile and a handshake or something of that nature, just being generous, or going to help your neighbor pick up limbs, or mow their yard, or if you've got a piece of grass, strip of grass between your houses, and you mow it one time when they're not expecting it, and not even thinking twice about it. Just small things like that can actually plant the seed to create a harvest later on, even though I'm not actually expecting it. As long as you keep watering those seeds that you continue to plant, the harvest will show up. And you may be going through a struggle, and something may be taking you over, feeling to where you feel like you're not able to get through. Just know to be encouraged and to plant seeds even though you don't feel like it, because your harvest will come out of that, and it will help carry you through and give you the strength to get through your struggle, whatever that may be. That's what I had to do when I was getting through my PT struggle, of overcoming that, just knowing that, thinking in my head that I would never get through. And then all of my work and efforts that I put into that, overcoming that struggle, gave me encouragement I drew from that encouragement that I created there to pull me through my cancer struggle. Just know that in the end, you're not being cursed. We are actually living in a cursed world. Just look at all the things around us. So by us planting these little seeds throughout life, and as we walk through life, it's really creating hope and encouragement amidst all of this cursed world that we live in. Even though the world is bigger than we are, but we are within the world that we can create opportunity to make change through our generosity and our encouragement to each other and to others throughout the day. By staying encouraged and giving generosity to others, just know you're actually injecting positivity into the world. Positive energy is being injected by you, and it will come back around to you eventually. You see these commercials. There are a commercial where one person picks something up, or picks a toy up for a kid that dropped it, hands it to the kid, and walks on. Somebody else sees that generosity, and they do something for somebody else, and it just continues to be a chain reaction. I've even been in situations where I've been in Starbucks, line at Starbucks, and somebody in front of me had paid for my drink. So at that time, if that's happened to you, did you just stop it right there and not pay it forward to somebody behind you? Think about that the next time it happens to you, paying something forward and through your generosity. I hope this was something of encouragement for you today, to stay encouraged and be generous, and to be somebody of a light in this world. And I look forward to talking to you next time, real soon. Take care.